All right, we're being recorded. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can record it to the cloud. Nope, it's already going. So, anywho, guys, this is some updates I didn't have a chance to do on Monday, but I wanted to make sure these are the monthly standings for agency builders. So, after 3 weeks, going into the final week, actually, this might have been after the full. Actually, after 3 or 4, this is correct. So Toy Bellamy at number 97, Zach Tolbert at number 66 with over, looks like 27,000 in premium for his team. Rob McLean at 57 with over 30,000. Brian Glazinski at 51 with 32,000 plus. Brad Phillips at number 43 with 33,000 plus. And our top team leader, Todd Stiles at number 21 with 58,000. Solid, very solid October thus far. And both Schneider and Davenport agencies were in the top 13 for all agencies. So the top 15 were listed, Kyle at 13 and Davenport agencies at 9. So rocking and rolling, having a good solid month. Wanted to just kind of remind everybody too that license reimbursement happens. Get you guys that are newer, when you hit $50,000 in premium, you send in all your receipts, and it's basically like getting a $300 bonus because you get everything refunded to you that you invested in yourself and your business to get it up and started in your licensing course, the exam itself. You send that in and get it all reimbursed. So it's pretty nice. Wanted to also recognize the following agents for growth this year, up 10% or more. The Schneider agencies are up 19%. So looking to grab that 1% back and get back into the President Circle here real soon. Speaking of the President Circle, up 20%. Rob McLean's agency is up 21% year to date. Awesome. And then in the Chairman Circle, which is 30% and up more, as far as agency builders, Todd Stiles is up 42% year to date. Brian Glazinski up 49% year to date, his organization, and Toy Bellamy's organization up 154%. So 2.5 times what it had done this time last year. Great job, Toy, with you and your organization. And as far as personal sales professionals, up 30% or more. Rob McLean's up 31% this year. Which is saying a lot because he had a pretty decent last year. And Toy Bellamy is up 50%. So he's done 1.5 times what he had done a year ago. Did want to remind everybody there's a big buzz about the ABM, and there's a great quote in here. It's a little too small to read off the screen right here, but by our own Kyle Schneider. So check that out. It was an email that came out very recently, and be sure that you get a copy of the ABM. It is and read it. It's the instruction manual on how to grow your business here. So it would be a great idea. And I do want to remind everybody that the company is going to give away about $1 million this year for people that recruit. And the recruiting bonus is $1,500. It has been all year, $1,500 for anybody that sources a person that comes on board with us and sells $10,000 over their first 13 weeks. We've already had one single agent win $30,000 this year alone in this bonus. And for the remainder of the year, I want to remind everybody that the Davenport agency, the Schneider agencies, we are doubling that bonus. So if you source a person that starts this year, so they protect their first family before the end of the year, as long as they, in their first 13 weeks, sell $10,000 of premium, even if that goes into week 9 of next year, okay, or week 12 of next year, I guess is how far it could go into it. Kyle or myself, we will double that benefit. We will double that bonus for you to $3,000. So just understand that, the person may not sell 10,000 in the final week, but they've got their whole 13 weeks, as long as they submit business this year, to count for that. So $3,000, just think to yourself, what would an extra $3,000 or $6,000 or $9,000 do for you here around Christmas time? Or if some of that money is coming in January as the Visa or American Express bill is coming to pay for Christmas, you've got that cash to just pay it. Now, wouldn't that be nice to not have to worry about any credit card debt whatsoever? I will come back to this Eagle here in just a minute because it's a really good one. But guys, I wanted to just share with you guys real quickly, move some stuff around here and go full screen on group presentations. Guys, I'd say it's safe to say that one thing that we're all trying to do, okay, is we're trying to set up groups when we go out there. Why? There's a lot of different reasons for setting up groups. There's more people there. You can get when you're coming into a group, people kind of let their guard down a little bit more than if you're just walking in doing onesies, twosies, doing cold calling, right? Because the owner or manager has given you the consent to come in and share what you do. So you typically get a much warmer welcome, and you typically get a better response. Most of our cards are checked yes when we do a good group presentation, and that most of those people should convert over to Families Protected. So wanted to just do some training today on how to do the most effective group presentation you can. And I want to say this, guys, some things that I share here, you may have seen things done a little bit differently in the field. There's not really an exact demo for groups that's company-wide the same way that there is a Cancer Care Plus demo or a cardiac care demo. That's set in stone. The sales talk has been written. There's no actual technical sales talk written for this. However, if you back up about 8 or 9 years ago, I did have an agent named Patsy Proctor who specifically wanted to shadow me on some group presentations I was doing, and she did. She recorded it and she transcribed all of it, and I'm going to share that with you in a minute on exactly what I said during those, and hopefully that can help you a little bit, and you'll get this playbook. So first, I want to talk to you about some basics about that. One is, guys, have control of the group by always standing on your feet during your entire presentation. Hopefully the people that you're demoing are sitting and you're standing. That means you have more control of the room. If that's the case, if you are simply holding an iPad, you need to be moving, not standing in one place, but moving around. You want people's eyes to continue moving with you and staying with you. Ideally, you can have some sort of if it's a larger group, and if you can plug into a television and go through it so you can have a larger screen, that's more ideal. That definitely takes some planning, though. I know when I sold, I went out and purchased a overhead projector, okay, old school, like the kind that you put the slides on, and I literally had the presentation made into those overhead slides, and I would put them on top and project up onto a wall or onto a screen whenever possible. Greet people as they come in with a big smile, and through small talk about and share, and have some talk about why you're here. Hey, we're doing some supplemental coverage. Find out who they know that's dealt with something that we cover, so you can call on that person and ask questions of them during your demo. Okay, I call that kind of having a plant. Asking somebody, hey, that's a really amazing story. Would it be okay if I asked you a couple questions during my presentation? Most people are going to say sure. And now you've got someone in there. The reason for that, guys, is again, people believe about half what you say as a salesman. They believe most of what their coworker that they worked with for 10 or 15 or 20 years says. So the more you can get someone else who's already on the inside and has that trust to talk, the more they're going to believe it. So chat some people, again, same here as the next one. Chat some people up for the demo, find out if they've had a family member go through a cancer and struggle. Again, they're to help you work with. So, then ask that person how this would have helped out their mom or their friend or their grandfather, when that happened. That's very, very, very powerful, and something that I think most people kind of skip over and don't understand the value of that, but it's huge to get someone else to speak. Keep it short, guys, 10 to 12 minute max. If you want to get invited back, you got to keep it short and tight. You can't have 20-minute full-on demos with showing every single benefit and all that. You got to kind of move through it. The most important parts you share in a group presentation are the introduction, where the iceberg page, you get to that part, and then obviously the return of premium. The stuff in the middle, not as big a deal. I know some of you have seen people give thorough presentations showing lots of benefits. I don't know that you really need that's steak, guys. The sizzle is the introduction. That's the why people need it. And that's really all you're trying to get across is why people need it, not necessarily how it fits how it fulfills that need and a reasonable price. We're not getting into price. We're not getting into a ton of benefits, maybe one or two max, moving through it pretty quickly. Bring food, guys, for the appropriate time of day. If people love free stuff and people are happy when they're eating, that's science proves that people, they release endorphins when they eat that makes them happy. Happy people buy more often than grumpy people. So bring food. If it's in the morning, bring donuts, bring coffee. If it's in the middle of the day, bring a 6-foot sub. Todd Styles loves to get those about 6-foot subs you can get for $30 at Walmart. Feeds over a dozen people, 20 people. Pizzas are great too. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but find a good place in your area that has inexpensive food that you can kind of go to and get last minute. Trish went and got Gatorades in the middle of the summer because she had a couple group presentations cancel on her last minute, and she didn't want to get stuck with a dozen pizzas. So she instead brought a bunch of Gatorades because if it canceled, that couldn't go bad. She could use it over and over, and it worked real well for her. So, guys, I want you to get real used to the term lunch and learn. When you're setting up group presentations, you don't need to take 27 minutes to say, what I like to do is bring in some food and everybody eats and all that. Just say, hey, we just, people love it that we do a lunch and learn. Most people have been approached by someone that's mentioned the term lunch and learn before, and that's where you bring in free food and people sit there and they chew while you talk. Real simple, but lunch and learn is a great little key buzzword to use. Dig in on that iceberg page so people really understand the need and how this is different from health insurance and it's different from life insurance, okay? Let them understand, hey, it's great. People need life insurance, okay? Because when they die, someone needs money, but guess what? When people get sick and don't work, life insurance doesn't pay you anything. You got to die for life insurance to kick in, okay? This is for when you're sick and still alive or injured and still alive. Ask people at the beginning to write down any questions and be really, really specific. I want to ask you guys to write down any questions so I can cover them one-on-one after our group is up. Because really we don't have time to field questions throughout here. I promised your general manager I'd keep this to 10 to 12 minutes. Does anybody want this to go 35 minutes long? Raise your hand. You're not. No? Great. Then do me a favor. Don't blurt out questions. Just write them down. I promise you I will answer them. Okay. Don't show too many benefits. If you show any, again, like I said earlier, that's steak. You want to sell the sizzle, not the steak. The iceberg page where the direct cost versus indirect cost, that's the sizzle. The benefits are not the sizzle. Just so we're clear on that. Let them know at the beginning that when we get done, we're going to pass around these cards and show them one of your yes/no cards, okay, at the end. And then I'm going to need to collect them back right after, okay? Nobody takes demo cards home. These aren't my business card. I've got some of those. This isn't my business card. Reiterate that filling out the cards is not enrolling you. It's just it's a request from you for more information. You guys understand? The word interest, that scares people. Well, that means I'm buying something. More information is very safe. So this is just so we'll sit down and get you some more information, okay? And you'll get that when we catch up in a one-on-one scenario, all right? And guys, have a pen for everyone. When you pass out a demo card, pass out a pen with it, okay? 20 people, have 20 pens. Better pens at a group presentation are like a cancer policy. It's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. There is nothing more negative than 20 people in a room. 12 or 14 of them would give you a yes card, but you got 2 pens, and your people are waiting for a pen. Guess what? Those people at the end, they're only going to wait about 3 or 4 minutes, and they're gone. Okay, you're going to have a bunch of people that would have gotten covered leave because you didn't have writing utensils. So don't let that happen to you. Go out and get yourself a couple packs of 10 or 20 pens and have them with you when you go. Okay, guys, I'm going to pause right there. Any questions from anybody out there about anything I've shared so far?
Van, not a question, but just to tack on. I remember when you rode with me, you were saying make sure you tell everybody, this doesn't commit you to anything. It's just so I can follow up for more information. That has helped me tremendously on just getting more people to say yes on the yes card. So highly, highly recommend to at least implement that, if anything.
Good. Thank you for that, Josiah. Somebody else was talking there.
Yeah. Hey, guys. One of the things that I always like to do, those people who know me, man, I know that, I try and use humor a lot. When I get into the demo, I'm into the presentation. I'm not joking about what we do or how our benefits pay out. What I do at the start, though, is when everybody's coming in, because rarely do they want to be there, I say, hey, guys, over the next course of the hour and a half, I'm going to be going through a lot of the ins and outs of what we do. And, guys, when you say that as serious as possible, the looks on everybody's face in that room just drops. And then you go, oh, man, I'm just kidding. It's only going to take a few minutes. And then it just kind of lightens the room. It lightens the mood a little bit. But it lets them know that, hey, you're not this hardcore insurance guy that's going to cram this down their throat. And you're trying to have, bring a little light and a little bit of fun to what you do. And then you get into the demo as well. I 100% agree with the pins. Guys, you can, at Sam's for like $6. You can get like 100 a box. You can get 120 of them, little boxes. People will keep them. If they keep them, don't fight about it. Just, okay, cool. Can I get the pins and the cards back? Awesome. Don't be like, oh, I got 18 pins. Who's got the other 2? Screw it. Just leave them and walk out and, know that you got more in the car. But, yeah.
Thanks, Todd. Good points there. Absolutely. Guys, there's a saying in sales, be funny, make money. Okay? Put some humor into what you do. People buy from people that they like. People that make them laugh, they like them. We like people that make us laugh. So if you don't consider yourself funny, go online and Google jokes and find a couple that make sense for you, memorize them and throw them in there and use them. There's so many different ways to have humor. Okay. Some of us, it comes natural. Some of us, we just need to plan a little bit, but throw some humor into what you do. Have some fun with it. Guys,
hey,
I'm going to run.
One last thing. One last thing before you. So, guys, I've talked to a lot of you about this. Walmart, 6-foot sub, $42, feeds 30 people. They give you everything: mayonnaise, mustard, the sub. They give you everything. 6-foot sub, $42. Walmart, you got to call 24 hours in advance. The absolute best thing you can do for a large group.
Right on. Thank you, Todd. 24 hour in advance, guys. So just give them some notice. But yeah, $42, guys, to get to feed. How many people was it, Todd? 20 people? That's
30.
$2 a person. 30 people.
30.
That's $1.33 per person. That's the best value going right there. Considering the first person that buys, you make about $250. That's your money back times 7 or 8.
Pizzas are great, man, but the problem with pizzas is most people sit down with 2 or 3 pieces. So it's not just a one and done, now you're buying 10 pizzas and you got, 12 people because everybody's setting up camp on your pizzas.
Absolutely. So guys, I'm going to hop into the words here real quick. We've got about 7 or 8 more minutes, but I wanted to just kind of share with you how I have done it and, sold a decent amount of insurance using this. But guys, my name is Van Davenport. I work with a company known as Globe Life, and I'm with the Family Heritage Division. And Globe Life was started in 1900. So we've been around 120 years. But just to be fully transparent, I have not been with the company the entire time. Okay, give it a pause and just see if anybody cracks a smile. Okay, somebody should understand that you're not 120 years old if you use that one. It's pretty easy one. Now, John, the owner here, he's making a new benefit available, and he asked me to share it with you. Now, I promised, again, I'd keep this under 3 hours, so we better go ahead and get started real quick. Another pause. It's kind of like God said, just kidding. Actually, the presentation of this probably takes about 10 minutes. So just totally kidding. When you say that, you should have 3 or 4 people going, I was about to say, I ain't got time for that. I mean, you'll have some fun banter. No, I wouldn't do that to you guys. This will be the least painful insurance talk you have ever experienced. I promise. We're going to have some fun here today. Okay. So, guys, does anybody here know what supplemental insurance is? Okay. And when you do that, guys, raise your hands. That's a nonverbal cue encouraging other people to raise their hands. Okay. Okay. Good. So, and you may even want to ask a person, hey, what's your definition of it? Oh, it's kind of like Aflac. Okay. Well, one way to say it, but we actually pay people money when they get sick. Okay. And guys, if somebody brings up Aflac and they're inferring that it's negative to bring them up, go, we love those guys. They're great. They got that duck. He's so cute. You get, all kinds of cool stuff. Matter of fact, it saves us a lot of time when we go, hey, you're familiar with those guys? Yep. We have some similarities to them, but our difference is they have a duck and we have a buck. meaning if you don't use our coverage, we give you your money back. We've had a lot of folks say that they would prefer to have their cash than to have a duck as a mascot, but that's for each person to decide. So yeah, we actually pay people money when they get sick. Sometimes that sickness is cancer. Sometimes it's a heart attack or a stroke. Sometimes it's a serious injury, anything that could put you in the hospital. So all those things, we pay people cash. Now, why would people need cash when they're injured? Anybody know why? If you're injured and sick, why would you need cash? Because I'm missing work. Yeah, you're going to get some answers. Great. Family bills, right? Your health insurance does not cover, okay, your mortgage, your car payment, utilities, right? That's what we call indirect costs or out-of-pocket expenses, okay? Guys, the products that we offer are really simple. And again, you should have one of each brochure with you to show people. We do cancer coverage. We do heart and stroke. We have accident. We do a hospitalization plan. We also do some life insurance, both for adults and for children, okay? Again, as you mentioned, each hold that brochure up. So they remember, people learn more visually than they do audibly. So the more you can show them, the better. So guys, instead of explaining each one of these today for time's sake, I'm going to talk about one that seems to be in pretty high demand today, which is our cancer plan, okay? And then when we talk one-on-one later, we can discuss any others that may be of concern to you personally due to your specific situation, your family makeup, your family history, okay? Some people like to cover their kids that are active in sports because they can't cover them with their workers' comp or disability at work. So we'll talk about that in a one-on-one situation. So let me ask real quickly, guys, who here knows someone who's ever had to deal with cancer? Guys, raise your hand up high, okay, and look around. Yep. How about someone that's ever had a heart or a stroke? Change hands. Raise the other hand. Anybody else? Okay. How about anyone that's ever had an injury? Raise your other hand. Just kind of look around. Guys, that's pretty much everybody in the room. Wow. I'd like to say that that's a big surprise, but it's not. Okay. Just about everybody knows someone that's had to deal with cancer. Okay. My own mom is a breast cancer survivor, and my dad had skin cancer. Okay. Whatever your situation is, share what family member or close person to you that went through it. Okay. And guys, the American Cancer Society says that cancer is now reached, it's an epidemic. It'll affect 1 out of every 3 men, 1 out of every 3 women, and 3 out of every 4 families. So guys and gals, look to your left and look to your right. Okay. One of the 3 of you, numbers show, will probably have to deal with this. Okay. Obviously, you hope it's the other person, not you. Just kidding. Of course, we always hope for that 4th family, but with cancer, you never can tell, can you? Okay. And cancer, guys, it doesn't play any favorites. Okay. With women, 1 out of 8 will have breast cancer. Cancer is the 2nd leading cause of death. But for kids ages 1 to 14, and 1 out of 6 men are going to get prostate cancer. Okay. Which is now one of the leading causes of death for men. And nearly everyone I talk to is concerned about the devastating effects that it's having on their friends, neighbors, loved ones. And that's why Family Hair has developed the Cancer Care Plus plan. Okay. This plan pays cash directly to you. Okay. While health insurance pays doctors and hospitals to keep them in business, we pay you to keep your family unit in business. Okay. Keep in mind, your health insurance does not pay you a dime. It's designed to keep doctors and hospitals in business. Okay. And you can cover just yourself, or you can cover your kids or your spouse or the whole family if you want to. You have those options. Okay. Now, guys, here's one of the neat parts about this that I really like that people have told me makes this certainly a no-brainer. And that's, I've never had a person sign up for one of our plans and say, Van, I can't wait to get cancer now so I can use this policy, take some time off work, or I can't wait to have an accident and break my leg so I can stay home and watch Netflix. Nobody ever says that, right? And you're going to get some chuckles when you say that. Guys, this is something that's kind of like a spare tire. You own it, you want to have it, but you never want to have to use it. Okay. But guys, what's the only downside of insurance if you don't use it? And then you're going to have people start to say, well, you lose money. You don't get your money back. And yeah. It's just money gone, right? You might as well donated it. Okay. It's just gone. Well, our coverage, guys, is a bit different. Okay. And I want you to understand for a second, most insurance policies are rented. You borrow them while you have them. Okay. Let me take a quick poll here. And guys, this is probably different than anything you've seen before, but I'm just going to share this with you because it helps drive the point home. Who in here rents their place? They rent an apartment or rent where they live? and you look around and you'll see the hands of the younger people in the room coming up. Okay. Why? Because younger people have less money, haven't bought their first home yet. Okay. Okay. Now, another show of hands. Who here owns their home? You got a townhouse, condo, single family home. Okay. All right, you guys. And you're going to see the older people raising their hands. Okay. Now, guys, for those of you that have your hand up right now, why would you want to own your home? You know, wouldn't it be easier just to let the landlord take care of stuff when it breaks? You know, I mean, and you're going to have those older people start to say, equity, you own it, it's yours. You're like, yeah, that's right, equity, guys. And guys, think about this. You want the younger people hearing the older people who they know and trust and respect talk, okay? By them hearing, they're going, oh, okay, Mr. John, he's a smart guy. I respect him. He's saying that he owns his home. I rent. Someday I want to own. Let me listen to this guy, okay? Yeah, it's equity, guys. After you've made that last mortgage payment, you know, you don't have to pay to live there anymore, do you? It's yours. It's paid for, okay? And how long are most mortgages? Like 20, 25, 30 years, right? Guys, this is your price build up, okay? Price build up with the 25-year return of premium. If you just say, hey, you get your money back in 25 years, you're going to have one Yahoo in the group go, 25 years, that's a long time. How do we know you're going to be around then? You know, and you go, well, again, 1900 is when we started. Good chance we're going to be around 25 more, but you can squash that person with this part right here before they even open up their mouth. How long are most mortgages? 20, 25, 30 years, right? Well, Family Heritage took the average, okay, 25 years. And after you've owned this policy for 25 years, get all your money back, okay? Just like you owned that house for 25 years and you sold it for the same thing you bought, you paid it for it, and you get all your money back, right? Or tell them just to keep the money and you can have it free for the rest of your life. Just like making your final mortgage payment. Boom, done, free coverage for life. Because guys, think about it. You can do that. If somebody pays for it for 25 years and the company comes back with a check for $32,000, they can say, no, thank you. Keep the money. I'd like to have a paid up policy for the rest of my life. They can. It would be absolutely dumb financially, because then they would say the company can keep all the interest on that money instead of them taking it back and paying it back monthly over time. But they can't. But it's just driving home a point. Hey, you pay for it for 25 years, then it's free after that if you tell the company to keep it. All right. So Family Heritage looks at how much you paid into it. And again, you're showing the return of premium page right here and how much that they've paid out to you in claims during that time, and refund you the difference. It's called a return of premium plan. And you show those three options. There's only three options of what could happen: no claim, small claim, or large claim. This is what we hope for: no claim. If you don't have a claim at all, you get everything refunded back. If you have a small claim, we'll give the difference back. And guys, the only way that you wouldn't have a refund would be if you already got more money from the policy than you paid. And I've heard people say that the wrong way, guys. Of course, you know, if you have a large claim, you don't get any money back. That doesn't sound good, guys. Just say the only way you wouldn't get a refund at the end would be if you already got more money from the policy in claims than you paid in premiums. And if that's the case, you win, okay? It's unfortunate that you got sick or injured, but it was great that you had that coverage, right? Don't you wish all your insurance was like that? How many of you ever gotten a refund from your car insurance when you didn't have a wreck, or from your homeowner's insurance when you didn't have a fire or no one broke into the house? Doesn't happen, does it? Okay. The point I'm trying to make is if you stay healthy, you get your money back. Okay. So guys, that's all I have for you now. I appreciate you listening intently. You've been an awesome crowd here. As I mentioned earlier, you pull out your survey cards here, and you start passing them out with pens. This is not an enrollment form. Okay. This is just a survey to find out which policy or policies you'd like to get more informed about. Okay. And I'm going to pass each one of these out with a pen. And then as soon as I pass out the last one, I'm going to go right back to the first person and pick them up again. You have to remind people of that, guys, or people you're going to see ladies take these and fold them in half and start to stick them in their purse. You're like, no. These aren't going home. I'm going to pass them around. Then I'm going to come right back and pick them up. Okay. So we're not taking these home. Okay. If someone asks for a handout, of course, I'll give you that information when we get together one-on-one, which of course would take, just take a couple minutes. I'll be here in the meeting, after the meeting for about an hour or so, and look forward to connecting with each of you briefly. Please take a moment and thank John, the owner here, for thinking enough about you to make these products available to you. Okay, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so very much, and God bless you and have a great day. Guys, I just this last part here, and then I'll open it up for questions if there are any, because we're kind of up against it on the time. But this is what you guys what you see now today are these nice, beautiful not laminated, but thick cardstock, nice bright color yes cards that we have today. Guys, back in the day, this was our group demo card. You've got a new benefit. Now that you understand the need for supplemental coverage, all that's left to cover is what's the actual benefits and how much does it cost. Those questions depend on you, your desired level of coverage, and your budget. Everyone's different. Stick your name, number down here. Let us know if you're married or single parent, your age as of today. Best time to catch up with you for 15 minutes, and please thank your employer for having us. Guys, we just take those and go take them to Kinko's and put a bunch of brightly colored paper, because, again, visual, fluorescent green, fluorescent orange, yellow, and we would just make copies, and that's what we would pass out at the end. It wasn't that beautiful, heavy cardstock tool that we have today. So anyway, we've come a long way. But guys, any questions about anything that you heard? Don't worry, I will email this out to everyone when we get done. So look for your inbox on that. But I would encourage you to practice this. Get up in front of your spouse or get up in front of your kids with this in front of you and practice it. Because when you get up in front of a group of employees, you need to be able to do it without the script. And it's a little bit different than some of the words that you say in your actual demo. But it's all right there. Just a matter of taking the time to practice it and get good at what you do, guys. That's on you to sharpen your saw and get good at what we do. So any questions before we wrap up? Well, guys, thank you for being on here today. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Let's go out and be a blessing for somebody. We're off to a great start. Let's keep that momentum going and make Wednesday the best day of the week after 3 days. Thanks for being on here, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. God bless.